I wanted to talk to you for a minute about the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory, or MMPI. If you've ever known someone who's gone for a formal diagnosis for some sort of mental struggle they were facing, it's pretty likely that their therapist or psychologist gave them this MMPI to help with diagnostics. So, what it is a personality inventory used to detect pathology, so problems that are out of the range of normal. And it's given only by licensed psychologists or people within a state who are licensed to administer this measure. There's something like 500 items on it, just a mishmash of statements for you to agree with or endorse. And in the end, you get a profile that the therapist or psychologist will use to determine whether it's likely that you do have a pathology that might be supportable with more treatment. So these are the things that the MMPI addresses: hypochondriasis, concern with bodily symptoms; depression; hysteria, they define as awareness of problems and vulnerabilities; psychopathic deviant, facing a lot of conflict, struggle, anger, and having difficulty with respect for society's rules; masculinity, femininity, which is stereotypical masculine or feminine interests and behaviors; paranoia; psychasthenia, which is like worry, tension, doubts, obsessiveness; schizophrenia, odd thinking and social alienation; hypomania, you're not quite manic, but you're pretty excited; and social introversion, how oriented you are or not oriented you are to people. And you can see the number of items for each, and they're all mixed up, and so this is a really huge test. Here are some example items. You can see what construct is being measured or what possible pathology is being measured using those abbreviations. I believe that I am being followed. At one or more times in my life, I felt that someone was making me do things by hypnotizing me. Someone has been trying to influence me. Almost every day, something happens to frighten me. I feel uneasy indoors. I am sure I get a raw deal from life. And so you get the idea of the kinds of items that are here. And finally, this is an example of what you'd get in your profile results that your therapist or counselor might look at. And so they would chart it like this. And the normal range would fall between the blue and the red line. And so if you have scores that fall outside of that range, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a deviant in that area, because the psychologist will use a lot of information to make that decision. But it means that this is an area the psychologist will look at, because perhaps it indicates a problem.